What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to the latest edition of Raiders Latest News, where we bring you the Raiders' latest news. This morning, obviously, I don't want to say reminisce, but we do send our prayers and adulation and respect to Antonio Pierce because, yes, he was fired yesterday after a 4-13 season with the Las Vegas Raiders. And I know what a lot of people think, and I know we're probably not even people that should be touching on this, but we have not exactly been, I don't think, 100% fair to Antonio Pierce because him coming into this situation was not exactly advantageous for him either. But at the end of the day, I think that the Raiders are going to take a long and hard look at their head coaching decision and also their potential future franchise quarterback decision as well, and just really go from there because, I mean, overall, these are the kind of decisions that completely shape your franchise. And so I think the Raiders got a lot to think about, especially this offseason. And so also one of the big things there is, obviously Tom Brady is going to be playing a major part in that, multiple sources coming out with that. And so it will be interesting. People like Diana Rossini as well as, Carpenter, Hondo Carpenter, all those guys basically kind of pointing out the fact that, there's a lot going on in the NFL right now, especially on Fox with the playoffs coming up, and how are the Raiders going to evaluate that? So that's going to be a really big decision and thing for the Raiders and Tom Brady to figure out. A little bit of other news. So I think this was either yesterday or the day before, but they did sign a whole bunch of players to a whole bunch of future contracts. David Agoa, the defensive end, Gottlieb Ayedize. MJ Devonshire, the former 7th-round pick, Keenan Allen, the corner, Shedrick Jackson, and Tyreek McAllister. We actually really like McAllister coming out. Ovi Ogoho, the defensive end, as well as Will Putnam, the center, Brandon Smith, linebacker, Isaiah Spiller, the running back, which I actually really like me some Isaiah Spiller, Dalton Wagner, the stud right tackle, that's right, I said it, and Christian Wilkerson, the wide receiver. And so the one thing we did forget to mention in all this is that, yes, they signed a whole bunch of players to futures contracts. Not exactly sure how this is going to impact Tom Telesco. So, yes, he was retained after the Raiders did let go of Antonio Pierce. Going to be really interesting to see how that whole thing plays out because you absolutely know that after a season in which you go, 4-13, you've got to be able to climb out of the ashes here. And yes, you still hold the number 6 overall pick. There's going to be a lot of things that definitely come along for you in these some of these big decisions, like that future franchise quarterback and everything. But overall, the Raiders are in a spot where they've got some decisions to make, and I think that Tom Telesco and company, they're going to try to make the best decision for the Raiders and company. And so, but as far as the rest of the news, I mean, that was really it as far as Antonio Pierce being really the main headline, unfortunately, and we will see. Also, we did also forget to mention, we did a video about this yesterday about how Patrick Graham, the Raiders defensive coordinator, even though he turned down a contract extension, is now interviewing for the Bengals defensive coordinator job, which is basically a sidestep over, as well as the head coaching job that is open right now for the, I think it was, hold on, we're going to look this up because we're a professional channel, Patrick Graham, because there's actually, I think there was a couple of teams, as I punched my microphone, there was a couple of teams that actually got added to this, if I'm not mistaken. So Bengals, obviously, for the DC job. And then trying to see it here. Head coach job. I'm just blanking off the top of my head. It wasn't the Bears. Jaguars. Sorry, yeah. So he's being requested for an interview by the Jaguars as well as the Bengals. Now, if I was him, I would probably honestly go to the Bengals just because if he can, because the Jaguars, yes, they've got to. I wouldn't be too mad if he went to the Jaguars because I mean, he's had Trevor Lawrence. They've got Edwards there too, so they've got some studs there. Defensively, they need to basically a whole entire revamping, which would make some sense. So offensively, you're set. Defensively, maybe he could do some things there, but the rest of it, though, I think that for Patrick Graham to go to the Bengals would be the best fit because they are Super Bowl contenders with even a top 15 defense. They are. Like, that is how good this offense was for the Bengals this year with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins and company. T. Higgins, the future Raider. And I think it would make a lot of sense if the Raiders, if Patrick Graham did go to the Bengals and help them for a year, get to the Super Bowl, potentially win it, and then go and have a head coaching job of his choosing and everything. And so, like I said, I do think that there's a lot of things that are going to happen this offseason that we're going to be paying a big attention to. So we'll see how everything kind of goes. But yeah, it is tough to see Antonio Piersco. Wish him nothing but the best in the future and all that kind of stuff. And we'll definitely bring you the latest as far as all of the head coaches that they are interviewing, as well as the coaches on the Raiders currently that are being interviewed as well. And so, but let us know what you guys think about the Raiders' latest news for Wednesday, January 8th. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.